Hey guys, what is up? Today I'm bringing you kind of a pet peeve of mine that I've seen in a lot of games, and even though the game's been out for so long, people don't quite seem to get it. As you can see, when we loaded in, there was a pink player. And as I load in, I'm beginning to think, okay, I'm going to have to give people the spiel about how you're not supposed to shoot them, and just don't shoot them because it's not like tanks and all that. But as I'm enjoying the turning time of my turrets on my new Benson, because it's my first time playing it, glancing over at the pink player and I hear a shot behind me. And our Atlanta is bright enough to shoot first and ask questions later. And of course, they hit the pink Miyoko. So, what happens? Of course, the Miyoko gets mad because he's probably been team killed earlier today or bothered by people who don't really know that it's not tanks. So the first thing I do is I try to get them to stop shooting at each other, because I know the Miyoko's going to shoot back. And of course I'm trying to get the Atlanta to stop, because I don't think he realizes that he's going to pay for it. But by the time this is over, I think he didn't really care. I think he was just being an asshole. I'm pretty sure if he didn't try to pick a fight, the Miyoko would have just gone about the game as a regular player. Because I know all pink players aren't pink because they're douches and they purposely team killed. A lot of them are just players that accidentally hit a teammate with torps and got pink. But some of them are intentional team killers and they suck. But I'm kind of glad that I'm in a destroyer, because I get a decent view of this. In a battleship it wouldn't have been as fun. And right now the pink player and the Miyoko and the pretty stupid Atlanta are going at each other. So, of course, you're going to expect torps to be flung because that's the best way to kill your teammates. Long-range gunnery duels don't really have an effect. So I'm kind of watching them, trying to make sure I don't get smacked in the process. Let's see what happens here. The Atlanta fires and misses. I think he meant to miss that. I'm not entirely sure. He might have he might have turned out, but I'm not entirely sure. And of course, it must be the Miyoko did a lot of team damage because he just killed himself based on the damage that he did to the Atlanta. And the Atlanta is not left on much health, which really sucks. And this really pisses me off that people don't understand that you're not supposed to bother the pink players unless they bother you first. I mean, just let them pay your repairs if they kill you. It's not really that much of a bother sometimes. Which sometimes it is, because tier 10s it does not pay to get team killed. But they don't expect team killers to be up that high. But why? Why would you put your team down 2 ships just because you felt like killing the pink player because he was a different color? He might have been innocent for all you know. He wasn't gonna team kill your whole team. But instead you had to put your team down 2 ships. I don't understand why you would do that. It's just annoying that you would piss off a player that you know probably doesn't care, and B, probably has had this happen to him already tonight and probably doesn't want more of it. And of course in chat, I'm already calling the Atlanta out because I really don't like how he played that. He immediately just shot because they were pink. We don't know if he was a threat. He just killed him. It's redundant. And then he went off and died. So now we're down 2 ships without them damaging anything or accomplishing anything, which that's worse than just running out and being in the front line and dying, because if you're in the front line and dying, then you're at least doing damage to a ship. And I don't know, it's just why? I don't understand people sometimes, and I don't think I'll try. I'll just go on and continue my gameplay and enjoy my new ship, because this Benson's actually kind of fun. And for such a bad game, I mean, bad as in it was a loss, I did quite well for having a stock ship that I'm just starting to use. And for some reason the Benson's guns are really loud. And not quite sure why that is. They're gonna sound weird in the video because I have them turned way down. But it's literally worse than a Yamato firing. And they echo a lot. Like, that wave you can hear in the background of the guns is the guns firing. I'm not sure why they echo. They're basically the same guns that were on the Farragut and that were on the Mahan. I'm not sure why they have such a huge echo and such a huge sound for such tiny little guns. But I guess that's something Wargaming will fix when they get around to it. They're putting in some cool stuff like the arpeggio stuff and all that. But we'll let them do the game programming and I'll stay away from that. But I just don't get people's mentality when they see a person that's pink in a game. A lot of them think it's tanks so they can shoot them without penalty because pink's on a different team. But it's not. You pay for their repairs. It's not even worth it to look at them. I've had pink players be top of the team. And really, all it was they accidentally hit another ship with a torpedo or two in a high tier battle, let's say, and it turned them pink because that ship died because they fired torps across the map and hit an ally at the wrong time. And that happens. It happens quite a bit with long range torpedoes. I've almost hit other Fubukis with my Fubuki's torps, and Fubukis have almost hit me. It's almost entertaining sometimes, but really we do what we can to avoid that. But I've had pink players be top of the team and play perfectly. I sailed right beside them and chilled out with them and talked and played the game, and I don't know. People just get this mentality that they're the immediate threat, and really when they take no immediate aggressive action, what reason is there to team kill them back for something they haven't even done yet? It makes no sense. It's like shooting somebody because they might hurt you someday. I don't know. It's just I don't understand it. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna try. I just want to put it out there. Don't do this. It's really annoying to the rest of us. It does nothing to help you because it costs you. It costs your team. Most of the time it'll cost you the game because you're down 2 ships, 3 ships, whatever, because another person might get caught in the fray or something. You lose money on it because you have to pay for the team damage you just did. And your ship's probably sunk because they probably fired back. So there's really no reason to do it. So just don't. If they threaten you, let them kill you, let them pay your repairs. Go on with your life. Report them if you want. Just don't let it bother you. It's just a game. Have fun. Go play another ship. Sink some people. Use that use that rage to aim your cannons better. I don't know. I'm just trying to make fun of it. I don't know. It just bothers me that people would want to do that. But at the same time that I'm showing you this amazing disc cooperation, I don't know if that's the word, but it's gonna be one now because it came out of my mouth. This amazing disc cooperation, and even if it isn't, I'm still gonna use it, of this team in the fact that they had to team kill each other and we won't win this. It's gonna be a loss. Even though I'm really trying to defend this cap by myself. But with that, I'll also show you guys a pretty awesome ranked in fact, gameplay where my team cooperated perfectly and we just worked together to crush the enemy. And I'll show that to you guys in little bit because I want to show one piece of this gameplay that I thought was really cool, and mostly because I made a decent choice in it and the cruiser kind of misplayed it. Like right now you can see I'm shooting at the Fuso. I'm resetting the cap. I mean, it's going to take me forever to kill him. It's a battleship and I'm shooting at him with 127mm guns. And they're just high explosives, so I have to hit his superstructure, which I just did there, but now I have to readjust and find a different spot to get fires on him. And of course he can put him out anytime he wants or heal, so it's going to take me forever to kill him, but at least I can keep cap down. And if you look behind me on the minimap, and I'll notice it in a second, there's a tier 8 Atago coming up behind me, coming down that little, like the inside of that island there, and there he is. I'm trying to decide who to shoot at now, and the Atago is a bigger threat. Always prioritize the biggest threat to your ship. Or if nobody's shooting at you, prioritize the biggest threat to your allies. So, I'm prioritizing this cruiser. I want him to stay away from me so that I can live longer and shoot at this Fuso on the other side. So I'm trying to pummel him as best I can with high explosive. And he's turning here. I figure it's an Atago, so he's got, 16 torpedoes? Yeah, I think it's 16. He's got 16 torpedoes, so there's definitely going to be torps in the water. And if he's smart, he'll just launch them right at where I am, because I'm just sitting in the fog. And I'm surprised he's not charging me, because I'm just sitting here and shooting at him from smoke. So the best idea would be charge straight in, vary your course a little bit, and keep your bow pointed at where you think the destroyer is so he can't hit you with torps. But he turned sideways, and I'm going to clip him with a torp right here and sink him. And as we turn around, there's an Atlanta, and I'm out of smoke. But that's not the funny part. Here's the Fuso and the Turpets, and this is hilarious. Atlanta's a big threat, so I'm kind of watching him, but these two ram each other. I say good job to that Fuso, because that's good. Ramming a Turpets. Turpets can easily outmaneuver a Fuso and easily outrun a Fuso. And it can torp him when he gets close, but the the Fuso got him, which I think is just awesome. And of course it's getting down to the wire. I'm getting shot at by an Atlanta who's trying to shoot me with armor piercing. Alright. Why? I can understand if it's a battleship or a heavy cruiser, if it's what you have loaded at the time, and your overpens will actually do damage, which with a heavy cruiser you can actually switch that pretty easily. But in a battleship you might as well just shoot AP sometimes, because overpens do a lot of damage too. But I don't know why he had strictly AP loaded and then he beached himself, because I think he was scoped in. And he's gonna be my kill. Because here comes the sneaky torpedo. Boop. But that's where I'm gonna end this one. I'm going to show you the nice gameplay of, well, the fun game of Ranked, where my team cooperated awesomely and we pulled out a pretty sweet victory. So I'm going to pull that up for you right now. So, here's the ranked battle that I was talking about earlier. It's a lot shorter than the random, just because of how well my team worked together to just completely demolish this enemy team. And as you can see, before the battle even started, we were talking about where we wanted to go and how we wanted to play it out. And basically this team wants to stay together as a fleet and go capture the B area first. And they want to focus targets, which I always think is a great thing to see other players talk about, because usually it means you have a somewhat competent team. And usually staying together as a fleet works pretty well in Ranked too. I've seen teams split up and win, but it's quite a bit harder. And now we're talking about which ones we want to target first. Since they're a destroyer heavy team, we want to kind of focus them. which I'm going to stay behind the cruisers because I want nothing to do with those destroyers. I think they had 2 Fubukis. No, I think they had a Fubuki, a Mahan, and a Hatsuharu, if I'm right. And we definitely want to kill them so they don't just run around, torp us, and take all the caps. And as you can see, I think it's an Atago is yelling at our Mahan for splitting off because he's all alone and all of us are going for A. Or not A, B. He's going towards A. And of course, I just got out of that team killer game recently, so I speak up and say, just let him do what he wants. Let him do his thing. If he gets killed, he gets killed. If he captures the point, great. Because I know I can provide fire support for him over these islands. And I think I speak up right about here. Yep, right there. I finally say something so that the cruiser kind of leaves him alone and lets him do his thing. Because he got all the way over there and didn't meet anybody until now. Which I think is a pretty good thing, because it means we're going to have a lot of targets right in front of me. And thankfully the cruiser kind of just lets him off and says, okay, sorry for spamming the chat. Which I think is also a nice thing to see. Very polite. We're going to throw some shells downrange at this Miyoko. I think that's the lowest tier of their cruisers. Maybe, I don't know. What's that over there? An Atago? And a Hatsuharu against a Mahan. And I'm kinda overwatching. I know I can get shots over there if I need to, and if they get close.
Torpedoes, dead ahead. Torpedoes to starboard.
I know I can support the Mahan if he absolutely needs it, but I also know I have to focus in front of me first. Because I'm with the fleet, and I am part of the fleet, and I need to focus the targets they are. And it looks like our Mahan's kind of backing off from A because it's getting capped by a cruiser and a destroyer. So I'm going to take some I'm going to remove my focus from him right now. And find a better target to shoot at. Or find a target to shoot at. Broadside Miyoko looks good. What happens when you're a cruiser broadside to a battleship? At least one citadel, always nice. Especially since it's a Miyoko and he can't heal that back. So that's health that he is lost for the rest of the game. And we have a Hatsuharu in front of us, one of their 3 destroyers. So I think they had a Fubuki, a Hatsuharu, and another Hatsuharu to revise my earlier list. And I'm going to take pot shots at him because
Torpedoes, direct front.
Turpets, it's just a giant cruiser. And I got extremely lucky there. Usually you won't hit 4 shots on a target that small with the Turpets. So that was extreme luck that I had enough damage and enough RNG to be able to pull that off. Maybe we can get some support over there for the Mahan. Shots out. Check in front of me. And RNG hates us again. Great. Guess it's just like lightning, you can't get lucky twice. So what do we got? Well, jeez, calm down. Stop shifting your aim around. Alright, the Atago's getting pummeled by my whole team. I think there's a Turpets. Yep, there he is. Turpets is close to him, so he's just railing it into him. We have their Fubuki and their Hatsuharu spotted, and I'm pointing out that the Fubuki is spotted so that our team knows that they're over there. And now we have their only battleship, the North Carolina, in front of us. And he's not focusing me, so I'll take the liberty to turn broadside and empty all my guns into him. Be rewarded for some decent damage. I will apologize for the little lags that you see in some of these replays. I'm not quite sure what's up with them. They have been kind of glitchy for me. And it might be my internet lag during the game or something, I'm not quite sure. But I'll be working to straighten that out, along with getting a new microphone and stuff.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Wow, that was a bad spot right there while I was talking. But I'll be straightening that out pretty soon. Go ahead and empty some more shots into this North Carolina, since he's not pointing his guns at us, so there's no real fear of getting citadeled or heavily damaged in the side. So we'll try to kill him quick so that we don't lose any of our cruisers to him. And he's just absolutely getting pummeled because he's basically the only thing my team has to shoot at right now. Trying to see where I am in all these islands, because Tirpitz may play like a giant cruiser, but definitely doesn't turn like one. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna turn out for heading to B. There. See, I did it in chat, and I did it in the voiceover. I said B, and I meant to say go get A. I don't want them to chase that Mogami, because if they attempt to do that, they'll just lead them into a corner and give that Hatsuharu that's left a chance to kill our Mahan and go capture this B point. And we don't really want that. But it is really nice to see our Mahan did a freaking amazing job. Like, complete props to him. That was an amazing fight he put up. And I'm glad and it's not, well, I can't say I'm glad. It's really nice to see that that cruiser apologized for antagonizing him earlier and explained his reasons. And it's really nice, you'll see in a minute, it's really nice to see that the destroyer accepts his apology rather than just rage at him and say, "Ha, I told you so. Go stick it where the sun don't shine." But our Mahan had a freaking hell of a game over there. He just laid waste to this enemy team, and this victory was a lot on his part. He even gets that kill after he dies. And now the Mogami's all that's left, which pretty much brings us to the end of this ranked game. I hope you all enjoyed watching. I hope you learned something. Like, favorite, subscribe. It's always nice. I like to have feedback about what I'm doing, what I can fix, so toss some of that my way. Toss your replays. My email's on my YouTube page or on my forums page on Warships. And yeah. Hope you all have a wonderful day as I citadel this cruiser for the win, and see you next time.